Here on Our State on a Plate, we work with some of the best chefs in the country, and today is no exception. Danielle Alvarez is executive chef of Fred's in Sydney and author of Always Add Lemon. She's recognised as one of the country's best, and today she's cooking with a uniquely West Australian product, the Leuven Coast Akoya.
Okay, so Georgia, we're gonna be making some oven-baked Akoya oysters with a roasted garlic butter today. And I think it's so cool because just yesterday, you and I were out at the farm pulling these right out of the ocean.
I know, they're such an incredible product and I'm so glad you got to experience them on your trip to WA. It's so fascinating, like it's the only place in the world that these are grown for culinary purposes. So they're just so special to the state.
You and I were taught yesterday how to open these because they're a little bit different, but I think altogether easier than opening up a rock oyster. So
I would agree.
If there's a flat end, you want to stick just a dull butter knife, the end, on the other side. You'll see that there's kind of a bluish green, it's called a byssal thread, and that is similar to what you'd find on a mussel, and that's what attaches it to the rope that it grows on. So then for this recipe today, we're just gonna open them up, line them up on a tray, and bake them. Okay, so that is the hardest job of this whole process. So now we're gonna move on to making the butter that goes on these guys. I have roasted a head of garlic. I'm gonna just tip all of that butter that we had cooked the garlic in right into a bowl. Amazing. And obviously this is cooked before, so it's nice and cool. The garlic is now all soft and sweet, and I can just squeeze that out of there.
Now, Danielle, you are well known for your amazing cookbook, Always Add Lemon. I want to know, is lemon coming into this recipe? I'm getting the vibe.
I think you can assume that it's definitely going to come into this recipe. So I'm just going to add a little bit of softened butter into there, and that will help it kind of like re-emulsify.
Is that a salted butter?
No, unsalted.
Unsalted?
Because we're going to add in a little bit of soy sauce.
Oh, so we're getting our salt.
Yeah, exactly. So the soy sauce, you know, is going to give us some really nice umami flavor. And then I'm just gonna give this a little mix. And then, Georgia, if you could just help me to put a little drop of butter on top of each one.
So I'm really going to embarrass you now because one of the best things I found out about you this week that just blew my mind is that you were head chef of Fred's when you were not even 30 years old.
Yeah. I mean, look, it was a really exciting time and I was really honored to have been asked to open such a beautiful restaurant, but I came over from the States and it's just been the thrill of a lifetime to run that restaurant. It's such a beautiful place. Okay, so they're all buttered up, Georgia. So we're gonna put this into 200-degree oven for about 3 to 4 minutes, not long at all, and then come back and eat.
Okay, timer's on.
Ooh,
Wow, they are done.
They look so good. They're fully cooked here, the butter's all melted, and I just love to look at these gorgeous shells, so I think it's so nice to plate them like that.
We learned yesterday that just a slight disruption to the way these are farmed actually makes them, they're able to grow them as pearls for jewellery.
Amazing,
and they're just so beautiful.
Yeah, and also getting the little bread to dip into this stuff at the end is
now you
part of the perks.
You are famous for your bread, Danielle.
Well, I've just made a really quick one, so the recipe will be available, but these are little seaweed bread rolls. Because I think the best part of all of this is dipping your bread into the melted butter.
Impressive.
And then obviously a little bit of that, as we always do. And should we try one? Let's try one. So good, hey?
The flavour profile of these is really unique. I think what really stands out to me is that it tastes like it's just been pulled from the ocean.
Yeah, I mean, anything that is as fresh as this, you just can't replicate it. But I think the best thing about these is that you get that mixture of great texture when they're cooked. Like you said, it has that kind of firm texture of a scallop, but then minerality and brininess and length of flavor that there's few things I've tried that have that, and I just think they're sensational.